I'll give you some inside baseball. When I consult, I rarely consult women, and I'm probably never going to write a book for a woman for one reason only: they won't listen. And I don't mean to slam that, but
Bruce wrote Lady. No one bought it.
Yeah.
Which was a fantastic book.
Right, yeah. And
Bruce wrote a book for women called Lady.
Aaron,
great book.
You should write a book on what they want to hear.
Well,
then they'll buy it.
But Five love languages.
That's called
Operation Evil.
Well, it is Operation Evil. Yeah, yes.
No one even knows Bruce wrote a book for women. It's called Lady.
But as it pertains to our overall conversation, is I would say, especially because everything is bought and paid for and taken care of, and they're not threatened with death or ostracization from the village or whatever. Women, they don't have to listen to the truth, and I think a lot of younger men, and again the tradcon community, you have to understand now, especially say using the materialist 80s, I guess, as a mark point, these girls will not entertain any practical, hard advice that would make for good quality and character, let alone a marriageable woman. And so things like, well, you got to tell a woman to lose weight nowadays. You can't do it. You just can't, you'll lose your fucking job if you try and do something like that. Tell a girl to major in engineering. Tell a girl like, hey, maybe you should keep the number of in your mouth below a gross, just wondering, but and for any young guy out there, if you're out there dating, see if you can give some advice along the lines of eat your broccoli, something that's healthy but is sacrificial and painful, and you'll see because you cannot have a healthy marriage or committed relationship unless the other person is selfless. That's the whole point of love, is you love that person more than yourself. Well, if they're all about themselves, which they are, because that's how we've been trained, and they never ever needed anyone else, it is a huge uphill battle that you're facing. So you can, if you can't even get a prospective woman to be empirical, like, hey, you want 3 kids? Well, we better get a house that fits this.
Yeah.
And we're going to only be able to afford these kind of cars. Well, I need to have an import. Well, fuck you, because math. That's it.
We had a girl on the show recently, by the way, right? We have a game we call Wifey Test, where we put our Instagram page and we see how you look, for wife
Honey,
material.
listen up.
And actually, this girl pulled up her page, and that was not her. We said to her, listen, sweetheart, is that you? Who is that?
Oh, yeah.
And we told her to her face, listen, just being real here, who is this person? Because this is not you. And she got upset. She said, listen.
This is a big girl?
Yeah, big girl.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, oh, this is me. If you don't like it, da-da-da. We're like, don't you want a man? She's like, yeah. Well, he's going to see this and then say, yo, who's this? And she's like, well, I don't care. And I'm like, there's no logical reasoning here.
Yeah.
So by default, she's going to always fail. But that's the definition of insanity. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I remember meeting a girl off Instagram once, showed up, she was like 30 pounds heavier. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no.
Bro,
I was
no one's going for that shit, bro. They like smash,
it's
but that's
crazy
it.
because like what I've noticed with girls is like they kind of like in the back of their mind they're like, well, he's gonna accept me anyway because that's what society does.
And other men have accepted her. That's the other reason.
That's a problem. A lot of dudes do.
So and they're just like, yeah, well, you're gonna accept me too. And it's just like we don't, bro. It just kind of sucks how we don't really put a standard of behavior or excellence or performance on females at all. So it's like they can kind of do whatever they want. Like you literally said it before. Like you can be a retard as a female, and if you're hot enough, you will find a guy, no problem.
I want to add one.
Penalize the guys. That's the problem.
Yes,
the guys put up with it.
Women are going to be ditzy, but it's these weak males that are actually the problem. And what I mean by that is, you got the guy who will actually get into the relationship with a girl who's promiscuous, and he knows she's promiscuous. You got the guy who will accept the girl who's overweight. I'm not saying don't give her the Jimmy Dean sausage. You hear me? I'm just saying don't let her hold on to it and keep it. And so the truth is we actually have to start enforcing punishment upon the weak guys. And I've seen something on the internet that I kind of like. Every now and then you'll see an Instagram girl and she's like super attractive. And then I'm thinking about like, yo, where's her at? Because I can legitimately slide her DMs and then smash her this weekend in real life.
Yeah.
These other
most guys don't realize
weirdos
that.
are like, what's her at?
What's her at?
I'm like, why do you need her at?
What are you going to do with
Living in
this?
different worlds.
And here's the sick, sad thing. They're going to follow her and double tap all her photos like a psychopath.
Like.
Right? So those guys need to be punished. And here's what's happening. There's some sick characters on the internet. They'll put, oh yeah, here's her it's at Carla Jones, and then you click it, and it's like something totally disgusting. Yeah, it's like have you guys seen that before?
Yes.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it. But that's just the start of what we actually have to start doing.
I was going to say, so I just did an interview this morning with the guys who are in the next room over here, which is Rebel Entertainment, right? And they're doing a documentary right now on like simping, like the simpedemic, right? And it's
crazy.
He did an interview.
I did it too. Yeah,
we got with Miguel from Cultivate Crypto, and they're going to get with you guys as well later on. But so one of the questions was, well, what do we do about this? How do we correct this, course correct for the ship, right? And I'm like, well, there's a few things. One of course is well, how do we disincentivize men from doing this? That's one thing. The other thing is that we also have to find ways to disincentivize women from rewarding women with like OnlyFans, for example. They can make a living off of this stuff. If anybody had the will to do this, no one has the will to fucking do this. So this is pie in the sky kind of thinking here.
Yeah. I'm listening.
But no one has the will to do this. We have to disincentivize the incentives that put women on OnlyFans to begin with. We need to disincentivize the reasons why women would want to go and advertise their sexual availability, even though they are unavailable. They're with a guy, and yet they're still selling their ass and showing their ass off. There has to be something, because these women don't have any reason not to do this, because they make a very good living
that announcement
off of doing this.
Tell everyone who's subscribing to leak their content for free.
The cure is
it's already on Reddit. Right now. You hear Kanye West talking about, I just be looking at them on Reddit. I don't really be going on the OnlyFans. I look on Reddit.
Your cure isn't let's repeal the 19th. You know what your cure is? Disincentivize all that fucking behavior. Take the reward. This is me being the behavioral psychologist. Take the reward away from the rat so that the pellet doesn't come out every time you put the lever down. That you're going to just get more and more likes. You're going to get more and more attention. You're going to get more and more. It's ego appeasement, and you make a good living off of this at the same time.
So Rollo, just out to your point, why do women do OnlyFans? Is it because they want to, or is it the money? Independence.
They don't want to work.
I think it's the money, but I think it's the attention is a lot of it, and independence.
So I asked some girls that were doing OnlyFans. I said, listen, I'm just curious.
First knows a bunch of them in Miami.
Yeah. If you could make this amount of money, but don't do OnlyFans, would you do it? Of course.
No, they're lazy and dumb. They're lazy and incompetent.
Hold on. So then I asked them, what would you do other than OnlyFans? You know what they say? Strip club. Webcam. So it's always easy work that's sex work. Well, which just goes to show if it's easy and they can make money, they will do it.
I don't think they're lazy. I don't think they're lazy and dumb. And I'll tell you what. Like, not all of them. Like, clearly, there's a demographic there. Okay, but we have had women on the show. I've been on Saucecast as well, where we're interviewing women who were they were surgical nurses, which you got to go to a lot of school and put a lot of money.
They just started an OnlyFans,
and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do OnlyFans because, and they have with their husband on OnlyFans and make millions of dollars. And when that, by the way, this is the perception. I'm not saying every woman does this, but the perception for young women who go, well, why would I go to 8 years of college, take out all of these student loans to get a degree that might even be a useful, good, productive degree? Yeah. And why would I even want to be a productive member of society when I can go show my on Instagram or on OnlyFans and make more money than I would as a surgical nurse or as a PA or as a radiologist or whatever the fuck else it is? Why would I do that when I can make more money this way? Tell me what the incentive. We take the incentive away and all that goes away.
Like the majority of people who are watching this, the men, if you had the ability to do almost anything for $300,000 a month, you would do it. Yeah. Again, we'll go back to what I was saying before. What I was saying before, how would we act if we were constantly being offered sex by women? Thousands of how intolerable would we become? And then the same situation with women.
Hold on, no. Morals has to come into play here.
No, I agree with you.
Because nigga, there's no one showing my butthole for that much money, bro. Give me $1 million, bro. I'm doing that shit. My black ass stay private, okay?
You and I aren't. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of guys out there that you would change your bay. What would you be willing to say for $10 million a year? Like, what would you be willing to say?
I'd say whatever the hell.
We're going long on the problem. Like this, it's feminine when you go long on the problem because that's just discussion. Men are builders, men are doers, men are action oriented. So the question is, why do we go long on the problem and short on the solution? We endlessly describe that women are delusional. Well, we know that. We describe women are neurotic. Well, this is scientifically proven. We describe that women are immoral. Okay. But then what do you tell the society of men to actually do? What is the prescription?
I think they have to lead the relationships, but
and one thing for what you said is yeah, people will behave in peculiar ways, average people, but every society is led by a minority.
Sure.
Our leadership class is lost. Our leadership class is weak. Our leadership class of men are not moral. That's the issue.
Yeah, no, not enough men like lead. I think when your relationship, you got to set the rules, let the girl know what you will and won't tolerate. People just put up with bullshit, you know? And like girls, they hate weak men. They'll test you. Even if they like you, they'll start testing you.
They'll even test strong men.
Yeah, no, back when I used, no, they'll test me too. You just say, no, 100% I get tested. I've never had a girl not test me. But back when I used to sleep around, you know, I always like to figure out female psychology. Sometimes I find out a girl has a boyfriend. I would always ask, okay, why are you cheating?
You'd ask her, wait, before or after the sex?
After.
Good man.
Good,
My boy.
What was the reason?
I fuck him, then I get the answer.
This is when I really started waking up. I expected to hear like he's an asshole, hits me. Every single time it was because he's too nice. Too nice. There you go. You got it. And he's weak. He does what I tell him. Some would say I'd even test him. I'll ask him to do ridiculous things, and he does it. So now I need a guy that I can't boss around.
So I think this is the matrix I really try to use with people when I try to help them. Men, we get validation through sex or compliance that leads to sex. Women get their validation from attention, but attention that eventually leads to resources. Our resources are time or money or whatever. As men, when we give our attention to women for nothing, our attention is valueless. I'm leaving heart-eyed emojis. I'm paying for her OnlyFans. In those cases, when I'm doing those things, I'm giving her attention. And not only does she not have any value for me, she actually starts to resent me. You'll see that men who give women money on a repeated basis, I talk to them all the time, and they make fun of these guys to me constantly. Yeah. Women will make fun of their sugar daddies to me constantly.
It's crazy.
For women, so when a man gives his attention for nothing, he loses value. When a woman gives her sex for nothing, she loses value. And
she's supposed to, but
exactly right.
Supposed to
nowadays.
Yes. But in order for her to do that, so what men are doing now is they're confusing compliance and attention. They're receiving attention from women and they think it's compliance and they're responding with attention. For us as men to give sex costs us nothing. Sex is fun for us to give and we don't lose value to give it. So for women to give attention is also cost them nothing. Their attention is worthless. As a man, if I meet a woman and she's really attractive, I'm never going to compliment her because of her physical attractiveness. She's always going to do something. If I saw a woman and she was posting a picture, she's like, I just paid off my house, I would like that photo. I was like, congratulations, you paid off a house. Fucking congratulations. I saw a woman and she finished her master's degree. I'd be like, I would like that photo.
We have them on here.
Yeah, I have never liked a photo with a girl where she was in a bikini. Never. Yeah. Because what am I doing? I'm giving my attention, losing my value in exchange for no compliance. I'm getting attention from her and her attention is worthless. If you just have guys go on that idea, like basically compliance is below the belly button and attention is above the belly button, then it's just much easier for them to make mistakes. She sent me news. That was with her thumbs. That's above the belly button. That's attention. She came to my house and made me dinner. That means she had to move her ass. That's compliance. I'll reinforce compliance. I will not reinforce or validate attention.
And it's amazing how you have to kind of explain it to guys like that, but it's important because so many guys are ill-equipped to deal with women and understand these things. And going back to, I hate to bring it back to the TradCon thing, but they don't arm you with this shit. Yeah. The Bible is not going to teach you the difference between attention and fucking compliance at all. And the thing that kills me is that if you don't know this stuff, you're going to get destroyed. And here's my thing, and this defeats the TradCon in 2 seconds. Basically, I say this. I tell guys to have these things in place, make their money, get in shape, have a prerequisite experience with women. You know, I say 50 girls, but if you get 30 and you feel like you're good, whatever. 20, whatever. My point is this. I want you to be in a position where a majority of women are A, going to respect you, and B, you'll be able to gain some compliance. And then C, I want you to go in to this relationship and this marriage that you might pursue with your eyes wide open. In no way am I telling guys, fuck 50 girls and stay a player for the rest of your life. No, I'm giving you the tool set so that you can choose
for yourself.
If you want to be married and have a family.
Myron's 50 girls is my vasectomy.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's just I just
50
want
girls,
guys,
I love it.
Because here's the thing. This is what kills me. A bunch of you motherfuckers watching this podcast right now need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do you live the lifestyle you live right now because you chose to or because you had to? And most of you motherfuckers watching the show right now are living the lifestyle because you had to. Maybe you had pressure from your parents, marry that girl. Or maybe you were broken, you couldn't get anything besides that Becky that you're with right now.
Or she chose for you.
Or she chose for you. You better put a ring on it or I'm leaving you. And that's the reality for most men. And a lot of you guys, I'm talking to you motherfuckers right now. You guys did not choose where you're at. You're where you're at because you were forced to be there. I'm giving guys the fucking tool set so they can choose to do what the fuck they want to do. You train for MMA, professional fighter. If you know you got a fight coming up in 6 months, you're training hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah. I'm not just going to walk in there without training.
Guys, right? When you get into a marriage with a girl, that's a fucking fight for your life.
Oh, 100%.
Because you can lose half your money. You can lose your children.
Big
you can
L.
have to pay alimony. The stakes are crazy high. It's a pay-per-view fight, motherfucker.
That's
Literally pay-per-view for you if you lose.
There's literally nothing where stakes are higher and you know less.
Yes.
Right.
So my thing is, if you're going to go, if professional fighters go into a fight and train like their life depends on it for a fight, you're telling me you're not going to train for the fight of your life with the woman that you're going to be with? Because it is a fight. A relationship is adversarial. Like we said, it's a battle between the two genders to see who can have the leverage. And if the man doesn't have the leverage, it loses every single time. And a lot of you motherfuckers watching the show right now that found this content, you've found out that you no longer have leverage. That's why you're fucking here. So I'm giving you guys a tool set to get that leverage back. You got to make the choice of what you want to do. I'm not telling you to go out there and fuck a bunch of bitches. But what I am telling you is it might require you to fuck a bunch of bitches so that you can make the choice that you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, so the girl also has to know there's a chance that you'll leave her if she's misbehaving. If she's giving you attitude and she knows there's no chance you're going to leave her, she can just keep going. She can go cheat on you. She can run around. She can go get blacked
with
out.
A guy like cheat on a guy with a guy like you.
Exactly.
But
if he's not going to do anything, why wouldn't she?
Religion, what does it do? Do the right thing. Stick it out. She's treating you badly, doesn't respect you. You know what? Be a good person. Stick it out. My thing is, to your question for solution, why not have both? Have the wisdom of understanding the world that you live in right now, how women operate, how men operate, and choose for yourself what you want to do. Then add to that what your belief system is, which is maybe Christianity or Islam, whatever that may be, and have the foundation so you have both in tandem working together. Versus just having one is like, all right, be a good boy, do this.
Right.
But you don't understand what's happening on this side because you don't understand the real world.
Use red pill awareness and religion to put yourself in the best position, man.
And then choose for yourself.
Wow, Jay, it's almost like we're trying to equip you and educate you with the red pill. Gee, I wonder who said that before.
I want to say this too, because a lot of guys, let's be honest, a lot of guys hate the term red pill. Cool. You don't have to use it.
Yeah.
For us, when we're using it, for the purposes of this podcast, it's just the truth, man. That's all we're saying.